Happy Wednesday, everyone. It's Remembrance Day, so we're going to celebrate Remembrance Day and take a moment to embrace our lovely hero workout variations today for home, and hopefully give you that chance to embrace and remember all those lovely individuals who gave their lives for everything that we enjoy today and all those freedoms that we enjoy today. So embrace that as you're taking this workout down. It's a long chipper, it's hard, but know that there's a little struggle to feel that struggle, all right? To get us there though, what we have is the Inchworm Down Dog for 3 to 5 reps, quad plank for 3 to 10 seconds, floor Pike Hold for 3 to 10 seconds, and a Sumo Squat for 5 at a 3-1-3 tempo. We have 2 rounds into our next phase of work, which is the ankle pops for 10 seconds / skipping for 10, so you can combine the two, 10 and 10. You could do ankle pops for 10 seconds or skip for 20, ankle pop for 20, whatever you want to do there. Just mix and match and have some fun with it. After that, we have our jump squat for 5 to 10 reps, dumbbell thruster for 3 to 5 reps per side, or 2 dumbbells, and then we have a lateral ski jump for 20 seconds, 10-second rest, right back into the ankle pops or the skipping combo, or like I said before, picking one or the other. 2 rounds of that, and then you're going to work on some skills. So you're going to practice a few of the skills in the work set, make sure you're good to go, you're comfortable with everything in there with what you have at home, your different options. I'm going to have a lot of different options for you guys in this workout, so check the workout description at the bottom for different variations and options for each exercise, because there's a ton today because we have a big chipper. So the workout as is today, what we have for our nuts variation is handstand push up for 10. We have 15 deadlifts into 25 box jumps, dumbbell pullover for 50, into 100 dumbbell thrusters, 200 double unders, and a weighted run of 400 meters, or a run of 400 meters, or some weighted step ups for 50. So we'll talk about those different options for you, and then you're done. Okay, so top to bottom, pick your exercises before you go. Make sure you know what you're doing in place of some of these exercises and movements. And let's have some fun today. Let's work hard, enjoy, and always work for quality. But before we get there, we gotta warm up. All right, guys, let's get those feet under the hips. Let's take the arms big and tall up overhead. We're gonna stretch it over to one side. We're gonna come back up and over and take it to the other side. We're gonna come back through center. We're gonna get a little shrug. Come back down with those shoulders in forward folds. Touch those toes. We'll walk up the shins. Come back down and frame a foot. We'll step that foot back into our lizard. We'll take that inside hand all the way up, and then we'll rotate forearm to the floor. Come back up and rotate forearm to the floor. And one more time, rotate up and then come back down, forearm to the floor. We'll come back up to the sky, plant the hand. Outside hand is going to reach up. Planting that hand, we'll step back into our down dog. Setting those shoulders for a V, come back into our plank and step the other foot up. Nice and square in our hips. Inside hand's gonna scoop. Rotate forearm to the floor. Come back up. Rotate forearm to the floor. Back up. And rotate forearm to the floor. And back up. Plant those hands. Outside hand reach. Plant that hand down, step back into that down dog, reaching those hips far to the back, set those shoulders. We'll come back into our plank, tiptoe those feet up, and roll ourselves up. Big tall stretch, clasp those fingers, press way up, reach to one side, reach to the other side. Come back down with the arms. Good. Let's get fired up and ready to go. So what we have for you guys today, we're going to start off with an Inchworm Down Dog just to get our bodies ready. But if you'd like to do a little bit more warm-up, some gentle stuff, cat-cow, some wrist work, pause the video, take that down, get yourself going. But I'm going to move you right into this next phase, which is going to get that core heated up really well. So our inchworm today is going to help warm up our hands and our wrists. We're going to hinge. If you'd like to reach up first and then take the arms down and hinge, we'll walk our hands out into that nice plank. From here, we'll get set, extend those hips up into that down dog, come back into our plank, and then walk our hands back in. So very smooth little flow we got going on. You take the arms back up overhead if you'd like, and then take it down for rep 2. What we want to focus on is as I'm coming hollow as I walk myself back in. So I want to make sure that I'm solid throughout that position and I'm stabilizing the shoulder with that good protraction as I walk myself back into my feet. If I'd like to add in some shoulder touches, or sorry, some toe touches or some heel presses, you can do that too. But don't worry about adding too much in there, but if you'd like to get a little extra, go for it. After that, what we have for you guys is a quad plank for 3 at 10 seconds. So I'm going to come down to my table. My hands are under my shoulders, my knees under my hips, and my toes are curled under. I'm going to pull my ribs and hips together so I get into that good hollow. I press my shoulders up to the sky, and then I'm going to lift my knees about an inch off, pulling everything into the center line, holding that tension good and strong. So I'm trying to maintain that level back position, keeping everything tight, pressing through the shoulders, and squeezing everything into my center line. I'll hold for 10 seconds, I'll lower, disengage for a moment, maybe add a cat-cow curl in, and then reset and lift again. After that, we're going to stay in our tabletop, but we're going to bring our knees together and work our floor pike hold. So my knees come together, same initiation, hand under shoulder. I pull my ribs and hips in, press through my shoulders. I'm going to keep my shoulders over top of my hands as I press my hips up. So if I want to, I can tiptoe my feet in a little bit more. I'm pressing through my shoulders to the floor, holding that tension through the midline, holding that engagement as I hold that little mini handstand. All right, so we're holding that to the best of my abilities, pressing up into the shoulders, pulling my ribs in, and I'm holding as much tension as I can, kind of mimicking the handstand I would be doing against the wall or in the middle of the floor, but just keeping my toes down so I can really focus on isolating that core position and shoulder position. Again, we have 3 at 10. If you'd like to superset and alternate between the quad plank and the floor pike hold, be my guest. It's kind of fun to play with that, but if you don't want to, that's fine. After that, we're going to get ourselves into our sumo stance. So we have ourselves set up, nice and strong. I'm going to get my toes slightly turned out. I'm going to pull my hips back and down towards my heels, and my knees are going to go out a little bit more knee focus than my normal squat because I need to keep them tracking my toes. So my stance can only be as wide as I can maintain that good solid knee position. From profile, you'll see that my hips go pretty down, straight down, but they do initiate going back first. My knees go out, my chest is high, and I try to maintain all those good squat mechanics that I strive for when I have a regular stance, doing an air squat, or some loaded squats. Right? All those criteria apply. Quick recap, we have our Inchworm Down Dog for 3 to 5, quad plank for 3 to 10 seconds, floor pike hold for 3 to 10 seconds, Sumo Squat for 5 reps, at a 3-1-3 tempo, so we can take it down for 3, hold, and then stand for 3. 2 rounds of that, get yourself kind of moving around, feeling good, and they're going to move into the next phase, which is going to be a little more jumping, a little bit more dynamic, and a little bit more leg love. So pause the video, take down that top piece, feel that good quad and that floor plank hold. They're tough, they're challenging, but they'll get you heated up. After, when we get back to this piece, we're going to start with our ankle pop and or skipping. So the ankle pop, again, I'm going to work on my skipping technique. My feet are going to be under my hips. I'm going to have my hands out to the side like I'm holding a skipping rope with nice tight elbows, but my shoulders are going to be relaxed. My elbows will be in, but I'm not pulling in too tight, and I'm going to relax my hands. I'm just going to get a good hop going, and I'm going to allow my knees and my heels, my ankles to do what they do naturally, which is absorb and give back impact. So we're not trying to control those pieces too much. We're just allowing them to do what they do. What I am trying to control is my glutes and my ribs. So I'm trying to keep that nice and tight, so I'm set in a good hollow position so that nothing else moves during my hops. Because I want to pretend that I'm skipping right now. I want to maintain that good tight midsection so that I can maintain it. Each skip or jump is the same. All right, that's what we're trying to mimic every single skip. We're just trying to replicate the first jump every single time. So play with that. If you want to mix and match your skips with, ankle pops with skipping, please do so. It's a great skill. It's a great use for that drill to kind of build that into a really solid skip. After that, we're going to continue with the jumping. We're going to work our jump squat. So my feet come into a regular stance. I'm standing tall. I have 3 variations. I have an air squat, so my knees go slightly out, tracking my toes, hips go to the heels. I have my non-jumping jump squat, so I drive, opening up my hips and my knees, and I pull myself down quickly into that bottom of the squat. Or I have my jump squat, where I actually leave the ground for a little bit, and I pull myself back down and work on that deceleration. All those movements stem from our good foundation of our air squat. So really focus. If squatting is challenging for you, start there. If squatting is really challenging for you, you're like, I'm not quite ready to do that up-down piece, you can work on a nice controlled squat and then a fast standing. So that's a great way to start building some acceleration from the bottom of the squat. Take your time coming down, drive up, take your time coming down, drive up. It's a really nice way to build that familiarity with that squat and also start challenging that acceleration a bit. After the jump squat, we move into our thruster. And we can do this with a single dumbbell or 2. I have a single right now, so I'm going to show you with the single. I'm going to clean the dumbbell up into my front rack position. Dumbbells resting on my shoulder, elbows up nice and tight, and my core is nice and solid. I'm in my regular squat stance, so all the same air squat criteria apply, except I'm going to press into this dumbbell a little bit. I pull my hips back towards my heels, and then I stand and drop. I come back down, squat, stand drop. And I'm using that stand up to do most of the work in that press. So you'll notice that the dumbbell starts to lift off my shoulders as my hips and my knees open, and then I just finish with the arm, all right? So we want to make sure that this is doing the work, the arm follows through and finishes that engagement or that momentum. After that dumbbell thruster, we have about 3 to 5 per side or 3 to 5 total reps. Lateral ski jump for 20 seconds. So I'll load my leg, I'm gonna get myself ready, I'm gonna swing and go, swing and go, swing and go. So I'm using my arms, my body to create some momentum, to get some speed, not just reaching with my leg. I wanna use everything I have to help generate power in that jump. If I'm not a jumper, what we can do, we can step and step. So that foot never actually leaves the ground until the other one is on the ground planted. So we can work on controlling that lateral energy and still get those good benefits. We just don't have to bound or leap. We can work it with a foot in contact with the floor. So learn about momentum, feel your body, everything that needs to be done there, but you don't have to jump. As a quick recap, you guys, we have ankle pop for 10 seconds, skip for 10, or mix and match. You can do 20 seconds of ankle pops, you can do 20 seconds of skipping, whatever you need to do to further that skipping ability and practice to wake up those knees and ankles. 5 to 10 jump squats into 3 to 5 thrusters, or 3 to 5 per side, depending single or double, into our lateral ski jump for 20 seconds, and then rest for 10. Repeat right into those ankle pops, and then we're going to move into a practice round that's going to kind of play around with some of the movements that we're going to use in our workout. So pause the video, take down that little squat piece, get your legs, get your heart rate up a little bit with the jumping and the squatting. Come join me as we go through the exercises, and you can practice a few of them and see what you're going to do for the workout. So our workout today starts with handstand push-ups. And some of you are like, I don't have handstand push-ups. And that's okay. We can still get the benefit from that press in that work set. So if you have a full handstand push-up, kick up against that wall, rock it, do your handstand push-up. If you're like, I don't have handstand push-ups, but I have worked on a few things in the past. A couple things that we can play with right now are our box handstand push-ups. So I'm gonna pull this a little closer for you guys. So we can do a few things. I have a lower box today because that's the only thing I had access to today. So we're just gonna go with this. I can get my knees on the box. I get myself set up into that nice stack position. Nice and active in my hollow, my handstand, and then I lower down, keeping those elbows stacked over the hands, and come up. I come forward and down, maintaining that hollow, and I stay stacked. I can also do this via pike position, so straight legs, nice stacked hip position, nice and overhead, eyes to the box, I lower forward and down, touch the floor, come back up. So box pike or box knee handstand push-ups, nice and solid for options there. A couple other on the floor in terms of that vertical push-up we can work on is that floor pike hold, turning that into a push-up position. So my knees come together, I get nice and tight, I set through the core, set through the shoulders, lift my hips up into that pike hold, and then I lower forward and down, and press up. I can also do it from a table, so my knees stay down, tight press, I come forward and down, and up, and I can work that cat-cow push-up, so from the table. So I'm still getting that slightly more vertical position, a little bit more like a handstand push-up, unlike a horizontal press like a push-up, I'm getting a little bit more vertical press. If you're like, not quite comfortable with that right now, I feel my forehead might plant itself into the floor, that's fine. Grab yourself your dumbbells, clean them up. You can work on tight, and you can work on a strict press for 10. Okay, or if the dumbbell at home you have is too heavy for shoulder press, you can work on push press. And you can work on that good vertical dip and work that push press. All right? If you'd like to continue working your push-ups somehow and work on a horizontal push-up, you can work on your push-ups as well, counter, table, floor, whatever style of push-ups you've been working on, you can take it right down to that horizontal position as well. So I have a whole whack load of stuff there for you guys to practice. You can play, pick the one that's going to further you the most, and have fun with it. Our next exercise is the deadlift. So again, the deadlift is just picking something up off the floor and putting it back down again. So I have a dumbbell single here. You can do this with a single or a double. You'll just alternate your reps. I'll take it down into my sumo position, standing up, and then taking it back down. Standing up, and back down. So that's my sumo deadlift. Dumbbell goes between the feet. I can work my conventional with 2 dumbbells or 1. My feet come in a little closer. I pull my hips back and down, keeping the dumbbells to the outside of the body. And you'll notice they trace my body line. So they're not venturing away or behind. They're following and tracing my body, and I maintain that good hinge and position. So we have multiple deadlifts there, and I'll have some other options there as well, depending on what you have access to at home. So check that out for the deads. We have 15 in the workout. Our next exercise is the box jump. So I have my little box here. I can work on that jump. Remembering that when I jump, I want to pull my hips back, keeping my knees apart. When I accelerate up, I want to keep my knees apart. And when I land, I keep my knees apart. So I get myself set up. I get my jump. Stand, step down, jump, stand, step down, and work that. If I'm not comfortable with the jumping, or the thing I have at home is not safe to jump on, but I can step, I can work on my step up. I could do a lateral step over if I like, or I'll have some other options as well, some non-apparatus options for you guys as well, like broad jumps, tuck jumps, and stuff like that. So check that workout description. There'll be more options for you besides the box. From there we go to the floor, and we're going to work on a dumbbell pullover. So we've done these a few times in the past. I'm going to get myself set up like a bridge, my feet just outside of my fingers. I'm going to take my dumbbell up over my body. Elbows are soft. I'm pressing into that dumbbell the entire time. I'm going to pull back on that dumbbell while pressing my low back and my ribs and hips together, and then I'm going to come back up. So as I lower the dumbbell, it's a little slower, but as I lower the dumbbell, I want to make sure that there's no space or separation of my low back and the floor the entire time. If I want a little bit more range, I can set myself holding up the dumbbells on either side, pressing the low back in. I can lower back and then press. Same concept, low back stays tight, arm stays still, and I'm moving that arm at the shoulder joint, not at the elbow. So we have our dumbbell pullover for a solid count of 50, so it's going to get your lats really jacked up. And it's going to give you a little bit of downtime for your cardio so that you can move into that next exercise after the box jumps a little fresher. So our next exercise is the dumbbell thruster. or a jump squat. So the dumbbell thruster, we have 100 reps, a ton of them. So we can do double dumbbell, we can do a single. We did these in the warm-up already, so if you need a little recap on our work set, please check that out. But if you're sticking with a single, alternate every 5 to 10 reps. Keep it the same, and it's a number that you can maintain and work on that good solid press and that good drive out of the bottom. If you're working the jump squat, work on those good quality squats. And if you're not interested in the jump squat, I have some other options for you as well. So check out that workout description and we'll make sure we're solid. Our next exercise is the double under. We have 200 of them. Or we have some singles, and or we have our ankle pop, or our lateral dumbbell jump over, back and forth as we go through that, and we can take it down some sort of nice jump, and I'll have a lot of options down there as well for you guys with the double under. And our last option is our weighted run, our 400-meter weighted run. So you can carry whatever you would like. Your dumbbell, you can put it on your shoulder, you can hold it to the side, whatever you need to do. You can grab a medicine ball if you have one, a sack of potatoes, who knows, whatever you got at home. You can just carry it and go. If you're like, it's kind of cold outside, I don't really have a running track, or I don't really run, all right, you can work on a weighted step up. And we're gonna hold that dumbbell up under the chin in a goblet format, and we're gonna work that nice step, and work on a nice standing position for your step up. So we have a few different options for that as well to close out our day with, that weighted run or weighted some sort of locomotion. So stay tuned for that one. It's on the bottom of the workout description. You'll have a ton of options. So good luck today with this work set, you guys. It's a big, long chipper. It's a lot of exercises, lots of reps. Have fun with it, but make sure we're working for quality. Break these things down as much as you need to. And it's again, it's one of those pick your own adventures. So really pick and choose those exercises that work the best for you. That's gonna make this workout the best for you, and have fun with it. Have a great day today, you guys. Take a moment, think about all those people, all those individuals who gave our lives for the freedoms and the experiences we live today. And enjoy this work set. It's a tough one, but it's a good one, all right? Have a great day. We'll see you tomorrow.